What's up, everyone? Welcome to Stay in Fit Sports History for December 4th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. We'll get to that game in a minute. But first, a couple quick housekeeping. There will not be a new Back to the Future this week. I'm going to an every other week schedule, so be sure to check out the Eric Lindros episode if you have not done so yet. You can catch up on the archives as well. That's Back to the Future with a PH, wherever you get your podcasts. We're in the middle of our first ever gift and food drive this week. The focus has been on trying to get those gift cards so the kids can get some gifts. They need those gift cards by Friday, the $25 Amazon, Target, or Walmart. I'm going to probably, depending on my schedule, I'm either going to mail it out today or drop it some off tomorrow morning. So if you want to get them to me or just send them yourself, either way is fine. Just let me know and I can give you my address offline. If you are following along with our reverse advent calendar, today's item is toilet paper. So if you have any toilet paper to donate, get that over to them or put it in a pile when you make the one donation. I'm getting a ton of Amazon items to my house, which is awesome. Thank you for everyone who is helping out with that. If that's an easier thing for you to do, let me know and I can give you my address as well. But we're doing well with this. I'm very, very excited with the turnout and just the support you guys are giving. So thank you. I truly appreciate it. But let's get all those items in by the end of next week. I'll be taking a trip over there Friday morning. So just anything you can do to help the Mattie Ann Dixon Community Cupboard based out of Ambler. Great organization helping out for over 50 years here. So good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Today's 25, we're doing our 25 days of kindness, and today is do something nice for a nursing home, whether you're send them some flowers, get the kids to write them a note of encouragement, send some candy, just something to kind of brighten those folks' days. Sometimes they don't always get visited as often as you like. If you can, even better would be go over to sit with them for a little bit and chat. But I know everybody's busy, so just send something nice to a nursing home and see if you can brighten up somebody's day that lives over there. All right, the game. And I mean, it's just, obviously we lost our bet, brings our record to 9-6-1, but I don't even know what to say. I'll probably continue to do this is my initial reaction and then be able to break down the game some today. I'm taking a half a day at work, not going until this afternoon, so I have some time to sort of watch some of the replays and kind of break it down. But there's not much to break down. It was just a brutal game. They got outplayed and outcoached in every aspect of the game. I think they came out pumped up, and if they would have taken at least scored one of those first two drives, the crowd was ready to be into it, and 49ers just were hands down a better team today or yesterday. Just bad. So hopefully, like, the dose of humble pie will help them, and they'll come back and really regroup. Some obvious holes. Like, I don't know if Shaquille Leonard is going to make that much of a difference, but they need some linebacking help, especially if Cunningham's going to miss a couple weeks. It just was couldn't tackle, couldn't move the ball. Like, it just couldn't stop anybody. It just was an overall. I don't know. You're going to have these games, ebbs and flows. I think with this team as they're constructed, this is really the first time that they're going to have some adversity. Tough game again next week, so I'm anxious to see how they respond. It's very possible they lose that game next week, especially if they play the way they did yesterday. So I really want to see how they respond and how they're able to bounce back. I don't know if they just kind of assumed, okay, we're going to be able to do this. I don't know, but the adjustments didn't come after halftime, and here we are. So. Oh, excuse me. I just don't know where they're going to go from here. This could go one of two ways. They respond and bounce back, or it's just lights out. So we'll learn more as the week goes. Again, just brutal. That's all there is, and we haven't had many of these in the past couple of years, so might be good for all of us. I mean, I think we all kind of were whether we wanted to admit it or not, we're really flying high and probably overvaluing where this team is. So hopefully they can get it together. The coaching staff in the past couple of years have been able to do that. So if they're going to do it, now's the time to do it. We'll have more on this game tomorrow as we go. No word yet on the Sixers. Don't play till Wednesday. No word on whether Oubre is going to be back Wednesday or Friday of this week, but let them rest. And they have a nice stretch of games against teams with losing records, so hopefully that can get them back on track. Flyers at the Wells Fargo tonight against the Penguins, the home and home series. Do some Christmas shopping today. Why not? Retail therapy helps. Take your blues away from the Eagles game. Go to phillygoat.com. They have a wide selection of just anything you can think of. They have, whether it's Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, Union, ugly Christmas sweaters. Hopefully mine will come. I'll be sure to model it for you once it comes. But go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. Do some retail therapy to help get through this Eagles loss. That's phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. All right, today we're going to go back to the Sixers, and we're going to go back to 2004. The Sixers played the Rockets, and they were in Houston, and this is not a mistake on this score. The Rockets beat the Sixers that day 77-76. We talked about the game with the process team the other day, and that was just two crappy teams. This is kind of just the way the NBA was there for a time. That score is right, 77-76, and that's basically a third quarter score. And in some cases, if like the Pacers are playing, that's a halftime score in today's NBA. The other night, the Sixers scored 119 without their two best players. So it's definitely more of an offensive league now than it was in the early 2000s. AI scored 20 points that night on 8 for 20 shooting. He also had 8 assists. Kenny Thomas and Mark Jackson had 14 each. Yao Ming had 20 points and 13 rebounds, and Tracy McGrady had 17 points. I don't understand how you have 3 Hall of Famers on that team. Yao Ming, one of the biggest and one of the better big men to ever play. Tracy McGrady, who's a scorer, and Allen Iverson's a scorer, and you only score 153 combined points. It's just insane. But that 2004 team was the team that they traded after this game, or not after this game, but later in that season, they traded for Chris Webber and just was never able to kind of put it together. But on this day, back in 2004, the Rockets beat the Sixers in a barn burner, 77-76. I mean, college games are scoring higher. Like the LaSalle Penn game went into the 90s the other night. I know it was overtime, but still. Just a brutal time for the NBA during that time period. But all right, today's Philly Sports Advent Calendar gift of the day. It is Big Shot. Big Shot was the Philly Fanatic-inspired mascot of the Sixers from the 1982 to 1996. He was a big, fluffy blue creature with kind of red hair. It was kind of bald on top, and he had yellow shades. He was very popular at the time, and a lot of people still want him back. I'll tell you more of the story in a minute, but when they got rid of hip-hop, there was a large contingent of fans that wanted them to bring Big Shot back. But Big Shot, the way the NBA mascots go now, Big Shot wasn't doing backflip dunks. However, he would get up and dunk. Like I read an article about the guy that did it, and he's like, sometimes I don't know how I was able to make it up, but he did dunk. But now everybody does the acrobatic, high-flying flips and everything, and Big Shot was not going to do that. He was originally introduced in 1979 as It. They really wanted to kind of capitalize on the Philly Fanatic. Just never really took off. Some people even complained about him, so they kind of put him away. He was kind of boring, and the Sixers realized, just like the Philly Fanatic, you kind of needed excuse me, you kind of needed to have the right person be the character. So that's where Joe Kempo came in. And when he came back in 1982 and was going up and down in the crowd, dancing on the sidelines, coming out and doing his routine in between quarters and everything, they loved it. And he was smart about it. He knew he couldn't just be a knockoff of the Fanatic, that Big Shot had to have his own personality. And like I said, he was a hit, very, very popular, until Pat Croce came in and took over the team and was named president and said they needed a revolution. So they basically cleaned house, got rid of Big Shot. And now it's like a different era of mascots in the NBA. They went from hip hop, which was kind of a scary looking caffeined up bunny. Now Franklin is more kids friendly. I would personally love to see Big Shot come back. I remember he came to our elementary school one time, and I'm not even sure why or what it was for, but it was cool. Again, it was more like the Fanatic, and you know how everybody loves the Fanatic. But again, you have to have the right person. And Joe Kempo did such a great job with Big Shot. He was, like I said, widely popular. He would do dunks. There is a picture. If you do a Google search, you can see him. It was in Sports Illustrated of him dunking, but definitely was not doing any backflips. Today's Philly Sports Advent Calendar gift to you is former Sixers mascot Big Shot. Be sure to give a Google that and look him up to see what he looked like, because I thought it was pretty cool. It was like gritty, like we have gritty for hockey. You have the Philly Fanatic. It'd be great to have Big Shot back. These are the things that we're going to get through this with. But on this day, back in 2004, the Rockets beat the Sixers 77-76. That was not a misquote. That was the score. That was not a third quarter score. That was the final. Be sure to go to Philly Goat, do some shopping today. I'll have more on this game tomorrow. I don't know what else I can say right now about it. It's pathetic. 100% pathetic. I mean, and we have not said this about this team in a long time. There just was no effort there. So I truly don't know what or how to react to it, because it was just that bad. I'll have some time to kind of reflect and think about it. They're already 3-point underdogs for next week in Dallas. And I think that line might even be a little low the way they played yesterday. So we'll see. They should bounce back. But I'm sure Cowboy fans, go ahead. Get your trash talk in here. They're coming scurrying out of the woodwork. That's what they do. You guys are getting set up for your annual late season swoon, though, so don't worry about it. But more on that game tomorrow. Be sure to do something nice for someone in a nursing home today, whether it's sending flowers, candy, just a little note. If you can, stop by. But do something nice for them for our 25 days of kindness. Today's reverse advent calendar item was toilet paper. Go help out. Do whatever you can for the Matty Ann Dixon Community Cupboard. We'll get through this, Eagles fans. We'll get through this. Usually I would come on here and tell you to breathe and relax, but I'm close to hitting the panic button. And that's going to be our question of the day. Where do the Eagles go from here? Are they beyond repair? Was it just a little blip, or is this a thing of something we need to be concerned about? I can't even think of the word right now. Just, is this the way they are or who they are, and should we be worried, or can they get it right? Hit me up on social media. We're Jimbo_Mont at Twitter and TikTok. Leave a comment wherever you're watching this. My Facebook, if you want, text message me, whatever. Leave a comment. Is this a trend? Is the word I was looking for. They have me so flustered right now. Is this a trend that we should be concerned about, or is it just a little blip on the radar? Let me know. It's going to be okay. We'll get through this, but go try to have a good Monday. My name is Jim Montgomery. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.